Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. President, for being here today. I just first want to say thank you for all the information you and your staff provide to all of us as a member of the House. When we're sitting here looking at this budget appropriation of several $100 million, we drop the zeros, and we really don't have a grasp on how much money that is and how that filters down to our district. You actually provide some great data that we can take a look at. We take the 194,000 recipients, we break that down into different House districts, and your staff does a great job of keeping all of us informed on how those dollars actually filter down to our districts, inside our districts, and we can educate our constituents by telling them how much money we are funding for higher education and the priority that higher education is in this Commonwealth. So thank you, and please keep that data coming because it's important to us, and when we're out there on the street trying to explain to the grassroots people. You talked a little bit about, my two questions had to do with the pilot program for distant education, which Representative Kula talked a little bit about. The other question I had to do with the Pennsylvania TIPP program, the Targeted Industry Program. If you could just talk a little bit about that or elaborate on that program and how that's working. I think it's an initiative that it's very interesting. It's new. It's a part of the governor's package for educating key industries, and we're just, we'd like to expand upon it, right, if you could.
This program was started last year, part of the budget process last year. PHEAA's board agreed to put $5 million in to fund it, and then to distribute the money and then report back to the board as to how the money's being used and a little bit more robust reporting on it. Is it being used for what is intended to be used? Remember, many of these are certificate programs that are not eligible because of their length of time is less than 2 years, so they wouldn't be eligible for the state grant program. So we felt there was a need in order to fund a certificate program. You could call it for retraining. You could call it for folks that wanted to get a skill and get out in the workplace and start working very quickly. This is what this was attempting to do. At this point, we're, as we reported, something like 1,010 students have received money so far. The average grant is about $3,000, and as time goes on, we'll have a better idea of how fast they get jobs, how many graduate, and are they in the areas that they were trained for. So we expect more robust reporting on that. I think in the material we presented, they I don't know if we sent it or not, but we do have most of the counties represented in the Commonwealth. We had to do a little bit of marketing to make sure that all the schools, community colleges realized this money was there, and that if they had any programs that would qualify, that we encourage them to do it. So I think at the end of this year we'll have some more information, but the idea is over the next 2 or 3 years we'll get a better idea of how well the money was spent and where it was spent, and did it reach the original objective of the funding.
So obviously you can track the placement of students after this program, so we can see the results of how the program is working and what industry specifically we're educating the students.
We're working with the Department of Labor and Industry to track the students after they leave their programs to see where in fact they do end up in the employment stream in Pennsylvania. Now there is a little bit of a lag time between the time an individual starts and L&I has the data, but we are working with them to capture that for you.
Okay, thank you.